Gauteng has set its sights on clearing its debt to Eskom by implementing a flat rate and installing prepaid meters to address the power crisis. The province held an Energy Indaba yesterday to seek solutions about the ongoing electricity crisis. But is this another talk shop or a step in the right direction? Will we see real action to address the challenges? Gauteng Cooperative Governance MEC Khumalo joins me now to unpack what this will mean. Good morning, Mtungwa. Thank you very much for joining us. Was the Energy Indaba successful? Just an overriding question first.
Good morning, Braden, and good morning to your viewers. Yes, indeed, the Energy Indaba was a success. Firstly, from a participatory point of view, we've got all the people or sectors that we wanted them to participate. Particularly, we didn't want government to talk to government, but we wanted civil society, academia, and other experts to be part of the Indaba itself in order for them to help us on the solution. And in terms of the intended objective, we think that the Indaba has reached its intended objective, which was mainly to come up with plans around issues that relate to electricity.
Yeah, you know, Mtungwa, our country is very well known and very good at sitting around the table, talking, discussing strategies and coming up with solutions. But we've tended to be very bad at implementation. And we've had this from yourselves in government, from the President of the Republic. What's going to be different now? You've achieved the objectives of Indaba, you've identified possible solutions. Are you going to implement them?
This time around, the Premier of the province, Ntate Lessufi, has put tight deadline. When I look at them, I sometimes say, hey, I wonder whether we will be able to achieve them. But he said he wants to see progress around October, and that on the 1st of January next year, 2024, we must have gotten rid of the illegal connections that are there in our communities. We must have started to roll out the program of metering or the household in our community. So there are tight time frames that are there.
It's one thing setting up time frames that are tight. I mean, the measurement rather of your achievements in delivering them. What are you going to prioritize? I mean, I understand you want to implement a flat rate, you want to end illegal connections by October, according to the Prime Minister Panyaza Lessufi, and you also want to install prepaid meters. Where's the priority for you guys going forward between now and the end of the year?
Two key things we want to do. I mean, three key things we want to do. The first one, we want to ensure that we're starting out the program of rolling out the meters, so that we ensure that people are appropriately billed, but also that people pay as they consume. Secondly, I think the issue of the flat rate must be understood within the context of indigents, because the indigent people are allocated certain amounts of electricity that they can consume, and therefore the debate was held around that we must not move away from the current policy, but we've got to look at how we help the poor. In other words, it's one point to say you have a free electricity, basic electricity, and that electricity is not necessarily able to keep you for a period of a month or something of that particular. It should be seen like that. We are not going to encourage flat rate in the entire province as such, because we think that people must pay as they consume. Hence, the issue of the meters. But secondly, we want to ensure that there are communities where they've not been with electricity for quite a long time. For instance, if you take communities around Kagiso, it's not a load shedding problem. They simply have no electricity because of transformers are not working, and Eskom will ask them to pay 6,000 in order for them to come and fix those transformers and so on. We want to make an immediate intervention insofar as that is concerned. And as Gauteng provincial government, we are prepared to partner with those communities, with Eskom and with municipalities to ensure that we intervene. Because even if you do away with load shedding, those communities will remain in the same condition. And they are found even in Dobsonville. They are there. The Premier had read letter from one of the resident from Dobsonville and so on. We were in Zola last year. We found the same situation and so on. So we've got to make that particular intervention. The last one is to ensure that we consult with communities to ensure that we migrate them from illegal connection to legal connection. And in informal settlements which are not formalized and there is no rolling out of electricity, we start that kind of a process to intervene and ensure that we provide those people with electricity. In other words, we formalize the whole processes of providing access to electricity to our people in order to get rid of illegal connection in our province. The last one will be to protect the infrastructure, because there's a huge damage that has been caused to infrastructure, people stealing our infrastructure and all of those kind of things. And yesterday, one of the commission came up with good strategies on how to combat that kind of behavior in our community. So those are practical things that we think that we would be able to measure ourselves on.
How confident are you you'll deliver?
I'm 100% confident. We planned for this. We did not just call this gathering because we wanted to take a particular political posture or something of that nature. If you recall, this is the second Energy Expo. We had the first one, and I can even give progress on the first one. From the first one that we had, we then called on the market because we wanted to test the market as to what are the technologies that are out there that can help us to intervene on the energy crisis. Where we are now, we have about 35 service providers or companies that have come forward and say this is the technology that we can put forth to help the province to sort out the energy crisis. We are now taking that process further by engaging, amongst others, municipalities, city power in particular, to ensure that we choose the correct technology that will assist us with electricity distribution in the entirety of the province. So these are not talk shows. We really want we really ensure that whatever that comes out of this expos are being implemented as such. As I say, we are ready as the provincial government, and all that we require is to partner ourselves, partner with the municipalities. Even from a budgetary point of view, we think that we can be able to ensure that we initiate these processes and ensure that we make the necessary interventions where they are required.
Thank you very much for your time, Mzi Khumalo, the MEC for Cooperative Governance here in Gauteng. Of course, we'll track the progress of your plans as you try and sort out the electricity crisis in Gauteng.